The Sanctum of Domination, the upcoming 9.1 raid, is said to be the most inner chamber of the jailer, where the worst of the worst souls are held. As we are yet to see some really relevant characters and key ones as well in the Shadowlands, who could these souls be? Are we really going to see the worst of the worst, or just some unfortunate characters that ended up being caught there? Who could they be? Brought to you by Gamivo.com. Make sure to click the link in the description and get Shadowlands as well as game time at discounted prices. While Sanctum of Domination is an upcoming 10-boss raid, lore-wise it is actually the most inner chamber of the jailer, as Blizzard themselves says, the central area of Zobal. Now, they added that the worst of the worst souls were sent here for the jailer's personal torment, but I think by saying this, they might just be playing around with us. I think the entire narrative of how the jailer is the tormentor within them all and how the worst souls get sent here is mainly just a meme. The reality seems that Zobal isn't at all a part of the machinery of the Shadowlands, and instead, traitors like the Natanos push powerful souls towards them all, and sometimes if they can get redeemed, they get deposed after this realm, but in reality, the Arbiter never really sends them here. So I don't think it is the case of evil beings were thrown here and the jailer is dealing out their eternal punishment. Instead, I think some of these characters are just unfortunate to die at the wrong time. For example, even someone as bad as Arthas didn't seem like he was destined for the Maw at all, and instead Uther and Devos just threw him there outside of all Shadowlands regulations. Now, Blizzard did tease us a bit to guess which characters will appear, and there are definitely some that are highly likely going to be there, either as bosses or possibly as prisoners that we might be able to free during these encounters. The raid itself was said to be a 10-boss one, however, we only know a few of the enemies we'll be facing off, such as Kel'Thuzad, Sylvanas, Eye of the Jailer, and Terragru, which leaves us with quite a few spots open for others to appear. Now, let's start out with the most likely one, and that all of us are just waiting to see, Arthas Menethil. We know for a fact that Arthas was in the Maw. We saw him getting thrown out there in the afterlives, and his significance is just too large to not appear. He was one of the first servants of the jailer on Azeroth, and the most iconic Lich King overall. I gotta say, this is definitely a bit tricky just due to how important a character Arthas really is. In my opinion, one of the most important in all of Warcraft history, meaning there is a possibility that they really can ruin his story progression if they do something really rash or stupid. However, how I see him happening and appearing is not really as a boss, but in relation to the final fight, the fight against Sylvanas Windrunner. Blizzard confirmed that the finale of this fight will change the future of the Shadowlands forever, and that it will be the most epic battle yet, that will be going through phases of Sylvanas' life, from the Ranger General to the Banshee Queen, and now to an agent of the Jailer. Now, if you could pick one character that led to these transitions of Sylvanas' character and that played the most significant role, it would 100% be Arthas, as he was literally the one that bestowed this fate upon her. I have a feeling that we will see Arthas in this part of the fight, and more than likely his pure soul and not the corrupted version, as Sylvanas' main goal for years, pretty much since Warcraft 3, was to take out Arthas. It is entirely possible that the main reason she even joined the jailer in the first place was because he promised her revenge against the fallen Prince of Lordaeron. So the most likely scenario that I can see happening with Arthas, I think, will relate to the final battle against Sylvanas in one way or the other. Additionally, one more character I see relevant to Sylvanas is obviously Natanos. He was in the pre-patch. He said that he will be reuniting with his queen, yet we still haven't seen him. This is a character that I'm almost certain we will face in one way or the other, as we'll be battling Sylvanas, and she is pretty much his everything. The most likely scenario that I see happening is that he will either be a boss prior to the finale, or that he will come in during the battle itself to attempt to save Sylvanas. Due to being so close to the jailer now though, I believe Natanos will significantly be empowered and might even look different than the previous Forsaken Undead version. Relating or close relating to Sylvanas, I could also see Saurfang making quite an appearance. I am aware that Blizzard said that he won't be a major character, as they don't really want dredge out characters that had their storylines finished, but that doesn't really exclude minor appearances. I think it could be possible that we see the unfortunate fate of Varrock Starfang, as he is definitely within the Maw. He died quite recently, and we might be able to free him, but I really don't see much happening other than that. Now, a character that might be more on the major side is Garrosh Hellscream. We've seen Garrosh in the Afterlives. He was confirmed to be in Revendreth, yet we finished Castle Natria and he's not there at all. There's literally zero signs of him. The only thing we know of is that the Natrius used him as a reliable workhorse and that he planned to utilize him as a weapon further on. Seeing that we didn't encounter him, my speculation is that Garrosh was further and further empowered and ultimately sent to the jailer to further infuse him with animal. A scenario I see happening is that he is now Mossworn, that he might even be a boss in this raid, one of the 10, further empowered and significantly more powerful than the version we faced off against in the Siege of Orgrimmar. Lastly, the character that might appear could definitely be Varian. I know, just like Starfang, they said he won't be playing a major role in this expansion, but I think Varian might just be incredibly relevant to the Anduin storyline and how he fights for the jailer now. They could be using him as a bargaining chip to keep Anduin loyal to the jailer, and freeing Varian might be the key to ultimately ridding Anduin of the corruption and the Alliance getting their king back. While I can see other relevant characters appearing in the Sanctum of Domination, I really don't see any other than these ones I mentioned that will be more relevant to the Shadowlands story progression. Thank you for watching. Check out how Il'gynoth literally predicted the Shadowlands by clicking on the screen, and also check out Natanos Academy for videos on real world history and science. See you next time.